Okej, hej och välkomna. Vi ska köra igång morgonens program med Mendole. Det är ett danskt bolag som sysslar med byggtjänster kan man säga. Där de nyss har noterats på Spotlight Stock Market. På scenen här har vi Dan Lauritzen som är Chief Executive. Welcome Dan.
Thank you very much.
Start off and I will come back with questions.
Og tusind tak for, at I har kommet her i dag. Mit svenske er ikke godt nok til at lave hele præsentationen, så jeg går over til engelsk. Welcome, and thanks so much for joining this session today. I'm the CEO of Mendole. We just listed on Spotlight about 3 weeks ago and had a fantastic experience with making quite a big celebration with all the investors and shareholders there. In short, Mendole is a building services company. We have 10 years track record. We have been profitable every year, unless except for the year of COVID. Right now, today, we have 5 companies under the umbrella, and our business model is to acquire more companies in the same sectors.
Tycker ni att det var kallt? Där inne? Jaha.
Sorry. So our target is to reach, today we have a turnover of about 120 to 140 million Danish kroner for 2025. Which is just above 200 million Swedish. And we have EBITDA of about 7 to 8 million Danish kroner, which is about 10 million Swedish, 10 to 12. Our target for 2028 is to reach 500 million Danish kroner, 750 Swedish, and 40 million in EBITDA. So we want to triple our turnover and our profitability. This is a model that a lot of companies have followed in Sweden. This is a model that hasn't really been used in Denmark before to go out and acquire in this sector. So it's going to be very interesting for us to work here. This is the industry that we are working in Denmark. So there are about 6,000 building services companies in Denmark, and that is a very fragmented industry. A lot of them are smaller companies, but a lot of them are also quite large companies being run by a founder for many, many years. And we are not that many companies buying up in this sector. So these founders who might have run this company for very many years, they don't have many exit opportunities. And this is something where we would like to invite them on board, the Mendole platform, and work with them for a while to ensure a good succession. The target companies that we are really interested in is the 1,600 companies that has a turnover of about 20 to 100 million Danish kroner, and they are highly profitable. Many of them have an EBITDA of about 10%, and they are already in a position where they could easily fit into the Mendole group. The group that we have right now, we have a lot of roofing within the group. So, and then we have an electricity company, and we have Nim Energy, which does solar panels, and then we have Polaris Light, which does LED lighting. Now, I'm often asked how these companies fit together. We have some synergy across with regards to the customers that typically need more than one service, and it would make their life easier if they could buy more services for one company. But also on the warranty side, when we go out and build a new roof for a customer, we will deliver it with a 20-year warranty. But if somebody else the day after comes and adds solar panels to this and drills 8,000 holes in this roof, then they can look very far for their 20-year warranty. And hence, it would make sense for them to buy the solar panels from us, get our people to install it, and ensure that the 20-year warranty on the roof continues. So that's kind of the synergies that we are looking into here. When it comes to purchasing power, there is a little bit of adding there as well, and then we have the advantages of being in a bigger group size. This is our management and board. Myself, I have been in this industry for 10 years, and I have been doing acquisitions before. I had a company in Oslo where we made some acquisitions within the coffee industry, and when we looked back at that journey, we found out that a very large part of our value added came from the acquisitions that we did during that period. So I quite like this way of growing a company fast, but also securely. My partner, Kim, he is one of the best operators that I've ever worked with. He knows this industry really well and has been in it for over 20 years. He knows how to run these companies in what many people would call a low margin sector. The margins, EBITDA margins, is about 10%. So you really want somebody on your side who can ensure that we stay on the 10% margin and don't lose something on one project. I'm very happy to have a good board on board. We have actually been meeting for the past 3 months. We've been meeting every single Monday. That's quite unusual, but we really are keen to do this correctly and in a good way. I've also gotten Thomas on board, who used to be CEO of a NASDAQ-listed company, so he can really point me in the right direction how to do things best for everybody. So this is our benchmark. We aim to do most of the growth through acquisitions, and we hope to reach these 500 million in 2028. Our target sector is roofing, of course, because there we've already got a strong leg. Then it's ventilation, electricians, and plumbers. And then we've got something that we are trying to figure out right now, which has to do with solar panels and batteries. That sector has had 2 difficult years, and we have decided we only buy something that can stand on its own legs and are profitable already. So we're waiting for that sector to recover again so that it is investable for us to buy into for the long run. We do not buy anything that is cheap because we get it on a fire sale and then we have to turn it around. We buy companies that has got a long track record of delivering consistent cash flows. What we do with these companies is we treat them very differently from other acquisition entities because we are founders ourselves, and we believe that the most precious thing is to keep the DNA of the companies that we buy up. We do not want to change their name. We do not want to try to fire a few people in order to squeeze out a bit extra margin. We do not want to change the way that they do things because whatever has worked for them for the past 10 years is something that we don't want to change, because that works for their market and their customers and their organizations. And my experience is, if you try to squeeze out too much of a company, then some other wheels will fall off. So we are very light integration, and the most requirement is that we need to be able to integrate their economics, financial programs with our financial IT. That can be done in 1 hour, and then we can consolidate for the quarterly reports. This is the structure that we have gotten. For the companies that would like to access our central admin, they are welcome to pick and choose. So we can help them get back to what they like best, which is interacting with their customers and doing projects, and then let us take care of the VAT reporting, the ESG reporting, the IT system, and whatever. But if they've got that already, or if they prefer to do it in another way, then that's fine as well. We want to be a support. We don't want to be a burden on them. So I ran through this quite quickly, but then we might get a chance to go to the questions a little bit early. Here is a rundown of the benefits of why to invest in Mendole. If I should put this in another way, we listed 3 weeks ago, more or less, on the Spotlight Stock Exchange. More or less half of our free float is Swedish, and that is one of the benefits of being on Spotlight, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here. We've been very well taken care of by Spotlight and has been really happy with that experience. But if I should put myself in your shoes and try to evaluate this in another way, I would ask myself, do I believe that this guy has gone on the stock exchange without a very strong pipeline in his hands? I have already said that to the market, that we have a strong pipeline. And then I would have a look at the other companies in a similar sector and ask myself, how did these companies perform for the first 2 years? Because the companies that has done this are all Swedish. There is nearly nobody in Denmark who has run this model, and the Swedish companies has, for the first few years, performed quite nicely on their turnover and their bottom line. So for me, this is a very nice model, and I have a lot of Swedish colleagues that I can learn from how they have done this successfully. I think that's more or less it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Don. Congratulations for the listing at Spotlight.
Thank you.
And a lot of new shareholders. We can start off with the number of companies that you think that you can acquire. What's the rationale for a company to sell their company to you? Is it because of change of generations, or yes. What do you think?
All of them are a change of generation. Most of the small companies, of the 1,600 companies that we are looking at, most of them have owners that would like to retire within the next 5 years. Now, for me, I don't want somebody who needs to exit tomorrow. I need somebody who will continue to show how this is run for the next few years, and I would love them to stay a little bit longer, because I think they can, but some people just end up in a situation where they would like to exit now, and those are the companies that we can't take. No. But we can take the ones who has still got some horizon to work with.
Yeah, I understand. You had a number of different you can't call it divisions when you are so small, but different parts of the market, right?
Yes.
And which thing do you think will grow most of these? Is it electricity or is it?
Yeah. I think that the electrification is very, very strong. Last year, we bought an electrical company with only 500,000 in turnover, so it was kind of hardly an acquisition that we would take today, now that we've got the muscles. But for the past 12 months, that company has now done about 5 million in 2025. So we've 10x'd their turnover, and we have taken the founder and brought him back to doing his projects and interacting with his customers instead of spending time on admin and the things that he really doesn't enjoy so much.
Of course. And I mean, as you said, in Sweden we have several these kind of companies that acquire a lot of companies, and they have different strategies. Your strategy is to become one company, right? You will not let the former the acquisition company grow at its own brand, so to say.
Yes, we would like them to grow with their own brand.
Okay.
We would like to change as little as possible for the companies that we acquire.
Yeah. All right. Then
I only have to do, in order to fulfill my target for 2028. I have a target list, or there is a target list out there for over 1,000 companies. My target is to buy from 4 to 6 companies over the next 3 years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at, so we can do it slowly. We can be very picky and very selective, because I only have to, if I manage to buy 4 to 6 companies, I have reached my target. If I manage to buy more, then we'll all be happy.
Yeah. How important is acquisitions to reach? I mean, you have quite an ambitious target here. You need, did you say 3 to 4 acquisitions to reach that level, or
4 to 6?
4 to 6. Yes. Okay.
Depending on the size. I'm surprised of how many of the big size that are available. You only find out that when you've been working, and these processes, it takes 12 months from the day that you meet each other for the first time and to the day that you can close a deal. So it is about patience, it is about picky, and it is a time. What takes a long time is to get to know each other well and find out how are we going to work together nicely to make sure that we don't lose everything on the floor.
Yeah. Do you have any sort of blind spots in the Danish market? I mean, these kind of services are quite local, right? Or could you?
Yes, they are quite local.
Yeah.
So where we're sitting is on the island of Sealand. So that makes very much sense to stay there. So that's around the Copenhagen area, and there is loads to do. I can do my 4 to 6 acquisition just on the island of Sealand.
Okay.
Obviously, in the longer term, we would like to go to Jutland and to southern Sweden. Yeah. But for now, this is an area that we can work with very nicely and support each other as well.
Okay, you can grow for a number of years only.
Yeah.
When it comes to the, organic growth, how is the market in Denmark at the moment for your services?
The market is strong in our sector, which is renovations. There has been a bit of downturn in new builds while the interest rate was high. Now things are coming back. We have a lag of about 10 years where there hasn't been constructed enough new buildings for the growth of Copenhagen. So the prices of real estate in Copenhagen is so high that people can't even get into the market. The average age of the first-time buyer in Denmark is now 40 years old. It's not when I came out of university, I would buy my first flat.
Yeah.
That's not happening anymore because the prices are out of whack and Copenhagen needs to build a lot more.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And you had, in Copenhagen, you had a burst of a sort of a bubble, right? A number of years ago, maybe 20 years ago or something like that, right?
Yes.
And that's, I guess that problem still exists, right? Because you had a downturn and then nobody builds, and yeah, I understand. Okay, when it comes to competition, I mean, if you have so many companies in Denmark to buy, you also have lots of competition. So how is pricing developing on your kind of services, both in, I mean, historically, and what do you see going forward?
So the prices of the services?
Yes, it is the prices. I mean, if you have 1,000 competitors, I mean, law of demand and supply, so to say, should hamper the possibility for you guys to take a high price, right?
The problem is that there is less and less hand to do the work that is being done. That is our biggest problem, actually. So there is more and more builders who are retiring, and less new coming into the sector. Most of the guys, when I'm out speaking to them and asking, why don't your son or daughter take over? They typically say they don't want to be out on a roof in a rain at 6 o'clock in the morning. They want to be social media managers somewhere in Copenhagen. And that is a big thing that we need to handle. Right now, we've got the shoulders to handle it, but the sector has less and less hands every year for more and more work. Our pipeline within our electrical across our build, we are already filling up the pipeline for 2026, and has got work for already a half a year in many of our companies. So it's not as it looks.
No, I understand. Convenient problem to have a order backlog. When it comes to recruiting new people, I guess, I mean, you have some sort of scale when you build your company. Is that something you think will enhance your growth? I mean, if you are a bigger company, to recruit new people, or?
That is something that we have to solve. I don't think anybody has solved it as well. We've also got other companies in Denmark, also Swedish companies like Bravida and Fasadgruppen and others who are also operating in Denmark. We all have to solve this because there is a massive demand for these services, and there are fewer and fewer hands every year. So one way or the other, we can't ignore it.
No. When you buy companies, are you looking to get the companies that sell, the owners of the companies to get to become shareholders in your company?
Yes, we would like one way or the other. We do require them to stay on board with about 30% of the payout in order to assure that we have a good transition and that what we buy continues to stay like that.
Yeah, okay. Time flies. We don't have much time left. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.